What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning. Welcome to the Shred Show Live. We are here on Instagram. We're here on Facebook. We're here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch. We are across the entire metaverse of content and social media platforms. I hope you guys are having an incredible morning. Hope you're having a great start to the day. It's Thursday, July 8th. Can you believe it? We had an incredible, I hope all of you had a great 4th of July weekend, celebrating our freedoms, celebrating our incredible country in which we live, and now we're back at it. I know it's Thursday. We've had a busy week. That's why we haven't been bringing you as much content, but we've got an absolutely jam-packed week next week with so many great conversations, so many great things. And today, that's what I'm going to be talking about. I recently got asked what the biggest mistake is in our industry. I was on a podcast and we were having this discussion of some of the good, the bad, and the ugly that we're seeing in our industry. And I got into it and I shared it and I got a little bit passionate about it. So I'm going to get into it today. Are you ready? Are you ready to come shred? Ladies and gentlemen, come shred with me. Be part of my discussion. As always, I appreciate you being out. Let's shred. All right, guys, I was just telling our good friends on IG, if you're hanging out with me, do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you like what I'm spitting, if you like what I'm sharing, please share some love. Connor Moraine, good morning. Awesome. What is up? What is up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So here's my thing. Like I said, recently I was on a podcast. I'm very fortunate to be on some great podcasts. And this was a podcast outside of the industry, actually. This was a podcast within the financial or the financial planning realm. And we were talking about mortgages. My background is mortgages, but with Shred Media, we get to do this. We get to talk about and share things in a little bit different light. Well, I was asked on this podcast what the biggest mistake that I'm seeing. And he was really kind of leaning more towards the side of like, we talked about IPOs within our industry. We're seeing so many companies do an IPO, do an initial public offering, going public. And he was kind of alluding that were some of the mistakes I see in that. And I said, honestly, that's not the biggest mistake that I see within the mortgage industry. There's a much bigger mistake that I see happening. And this absolutely came true or came full circle for me when I was in a conversation with one of my very good friends, very close friends, and he was asking me about the mortgage market. He was asking me, well, I've heard rumors about this and interest rates and that, and I actually, before I'm going to tangent or go on a real quick tangent here, I actually had somebody who is on our team talk to me and they're like, hey, what are our interest rates are pretty good right now, right? Like they're pretty decent. And I was like, yeah, they're pretty good. What's your interest rate? He still had a 5% interest rate. I was like, wait, what? Like there are still people, I know there's not a lot of people out there, but that's exactly, I share all this to really bring my point home, is the biggest mistake that I see being made in mortgage, in real estate, in insurance is lack of education. And when I say that is not only the lack of education, but being able to provide value to the consumer, being able to provide value to your general audience. It's so crazy to me. Out of the tens of thousands of mortgage professionals, hundreds of thousands of mortgage professionals, licensed mortgage professionals, I see a handful of professionals who are actually using the social mediums to get their message out. Now, you know that I'm always about preaching about social media, whether it's IG, LinkedIn, Twitch, TikTok, whatever it is, getting your message out there to the masses is it already is. Like it's so critically important, but more than ever, I'm seeing the few who are doing it really start to win. They're creating this content, this engaging content and this valuable content for the consumer. You are, ladies and gentlemen, as a mortgage professional, as a real estate professional, you are competing against huge companies that have millions and millions of dollars in marketing budgets. And all that they're doing is they're continuing just to put their brand out there. They're continuing to put their message out there, and you have to compete with it. And the only way that you can actually compete with it is if you get really granular. You have to go deeper on a level that they can't. And this is the medium that kind of levels the playing field for everybody. Social media, being able to go on a platform like Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it may be and share a message like I'm doing now, having a valuable conversation directly to your audience has never been more important than it is now. And that's that mistake that I share. The mistake is that people are not doing it. Like I said, I could literally on maybe both hands count the number of people that I see doing, a number of mortgage professionals, mortgage advisors putting out regular content. And when I say regular content, I mean like once a week. And that's pushing it. Some people, again, and if you're one of those people, kudos to you. Huge shout out to, like I said, I'll even, Mike Eshelman. What's up, Mike? Good morning, Mike. One of the people, and you guys know when credit is due, I'm going to shout out to him. Alec Hansen of Loan Depot. Neil Dingra, probably one of my favorite people on IG right now, is doing an amazing job on IG. He does phenomenal job putting out content. Ryan and Jessica Eller continue to do a phenomenal job on Facebook. He puts out some really high quality content. Keaton Del Rosario does a phenomenal job when it comes to IG and YouTube. These are just a few people. But again, these are, I can count them on one hand. Brian Covey over at Loan Depot is another one that comes to mind. There's a few others too, but now I can't even think because now I'm like reading comments. Ryan Sawicki, what up? What up? So, but that's just it. That is the biggest mistake that's being made, not only in mortgage, in real estate. When I was talking to this financial planner, he literally said the same thing. He's just started a podcast, and he actually, one of the reasons I was on my show, was his first guest, is because he's like, Josh, I caught your show on LinkedIn, and it inspired me to do my own show, which great, kudos. I'm not giving myself a pat on the back, but I've had a couple people tell me that recently, like, hey, you kind of inspired me to go do my own show. And whether whatever it is, if you're in photography, if you're in car sales, if you're in mortgage, this is just what I'm seeing. Being that my background is mortgage and real estate, I just do not see us as mortgage professionals, as advisors, as, the experts actually creating that value, sharing valuable expertise and knowledge. We have dedicated our lives, our careers. We spend so much time doing what we do. And some of us say we're passionate about it, but are we really? How are you sharing that passion? If you're not on the social platforms and on these social mediums, sharing your message and sharing the value, sharing your knowledge, then you're absolutely wasting it. So many people ask me this too, like, Josh, how can I reach more people? How can I utilize my CRM? How can I just don't have enough time in the day. This is it. It's right in front of you. And whether or not you have 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, it doesn't matter. The best way you can stay in front of your audience and continue to create regular value for them is putting out content like this. And that's the mistake that's being made. Is this just not happening? Like I said, out of the tens of thousands, one of the things that we do on a regular basis here at Shred and our entire team, we comb through social media. We look at examples of companies, of individuals, people who are doing a good job. And there's just so few. I mean, I could do an entire show on executives in particular that are not, like, they're just not putting themselves out there. They're not having the discussions. They're not sharing content. People are saying, well, we want more LOs to use our system. We want, more originators. We want to help. But they're not putting out content. Mr. Fortune, good morning. Social media is the new CRM. Oh my hell, Paul. I've said this for years. See, social media is the number one CRM. I'm going to go back. Dal, I know you're listening right now. Go back and pull that episode. I talked about this probably 2 years ago. Paul, you absolutely nailed it. Social media is the absolutely most powerful CRM on the planet. Joe Wilson, amen. Josh Pitts, the most overlooked biz dev source for L's. I 100% agree, guys. If you want to really get really good at, and this is just a plug there. You guys know I don't do any paid like advertisements, things like that. But Joe Wilson, good friend over at Social Coach, they're one of those people who are really doing it right. Like they do such a good job. But what Paul is talking about, social media is a CRM. Facebook, LinkedIn, you're able to gather information as people are following you, as people are subscribing to your channels. You are gathering data and you're able to stay in touch with them. Your CRM, again, we've talked with some great CRMs. We work with some great CRMs. There's some phenomenal CRMs out there, but using this medium, video. And again, I know it. You're thinking in your head, Josh, I can't do it. You do video so well. Then do a written blog. Like maybe you can write. If you just want to do audio, you can do it on a microphone. You can do it on your phone. But social media is that one medium that literally levels the playing field. So you can compete. Everybody wants to bash on Rocket Mortgage. Bash on them all you want, but they have a budget that is so much bigger than yours, you cannot compete. The only way you can compete is continuing to add valuable knowledge, valuable expertise to your clients, to your close friends and family, those people that you want to use you time and time again when they go to refinance or buy a home. It's continuing to stay in front of them on a regular basis. If you start to do that, then you will see it. The people who ultimately win in this industry, and I mark my words, Paul, we can come back to this one. Mark my words, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, but I think even shorter than that, our entire industry is going to be dwindled down. It's going to be that top 10%, maybe even less, maybe 15%, that ultimately they own the entire space. And it's because they're creating value. They're sharing their expertise. They're sharing their passion. They're sharing their knowledge with the world. They're humanizing themselves. That's, in my opinion, why Rocket will never win. Like, Rocket does a great job. And again, this is not a paid advertisement. Everybody knows my opinion there, but they have such a big budget. They're not humanizing it. This, me and you, me commenting about Paul, me commenting with Joe, me engaging, that's how you win. That's how you win on a grand scale. And the mortgage industry in particular, we're just missing it. We continue to, like I said, we just don't have leaders. There's a few leaders. Kevin Peranio, I'll give a huge shout out to good friend KP over at PRMG. He does a phenomenal job with it. He is one of the few leaders. Matt Ishpiet over UWM does a good job. There's a few other leaders who put out content. But remember, put out valuable content that's really, when somebody sees it, they're going to be like, man, what Joe put out today, that's truly valuable. You as an originator, you as a mortgage professional, to be thinking on the level of your consumer. What is going to be valuable to them? What is it that I can share with them today? Don't share rate. Don't be like, man, now's a good time to refi. Now's a good time to buy a home. We know that, ladies and gentlemen. Share something that's really going to make them think that they're going to be like, man, Joe knows what they're talking about. Rory K. Douglas, thanks for joining us. Dal, what's up? Same thing. Engaging with your audience, saying something directly to them, it's unmatchable when it comes to a CRM or social media. So I'm going to end on that, ladies and gentlemen. So start thinking about that. I'm not trying to bash. I love our industry. I do have a passion for it. That's why I stay here. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing these shows every single day, is bringing this content to you. So I want to see you win. I want to see you become the absolute best. You've already spent the time. You know, you have the knowledge. Now it's just up to you to take that extra step, to go a little bit further, to push yourself a little bit more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share, I actually was with many of you know, I have the incredible opportunities to serve with our youth here in our community. And I shared this, and there's a quote from The Greatest Showman. If you guys haven't watched, this is a cool show, but The Greatest Showman, comfort is the enemy of progress. Barnum says, P.T. Barnum says this, comfort is the enemy of progress. And that's just it, is if you are comfortable, then you are not going to continue to get better. You are not going to progress within your business. You have to continue to work to get better. That's it. That's simple. It is what it is. So if you start doing that today, I promise you, you will see progress. You will continue to succeed. You will continue to grow and to flourish. I promise you that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the biggest mistake that I'm seeing right now. Again, I hope you get some value out of this. That's why I'm doing it. I share this every single day. And I hope that you take this and you start to run, start to go. I want to see you succeed. With that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate you. Guys, if you have comments, drop them below. Hit that like button. Hit that heart button. Hit that follow if you're not already here. Share it out. Maybe this video is going to inspire somebody else. And I hope that's the case. With that, as always, I appreciate you. I love you. Now it's time for all of you guys to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. We'll see you guys.